Ben Simmons has come under fire after being declared out of Game 4 of Brooklyn's NBA playoff series against Boston, raising the possibility that he will miss the rest of the season. Is he already turning out to be a disappointment for the Brooklyn Nets? Let's find out. But first, a reminder about our brand new giveaway. We're giving away a PS5 with a copy of NBA 2022 and Madden 22. All you have to do is watch the full video, leave a like, comment the keyword hidden in the video, and make sure you're subscribed. It's that simple. First up, the physical and mental toll. According to ESPN's Adrian Wojnarowski, Ben Simmons and his agent Rich Paul met with Nets general manager Sean Marks and the team's leadership on Monday to explore what it will take for him to play for the team. Simmons, who has a herniated disc in his back, made it clear that the physical challenges he faces aren't the main reason he isn't playing. The general consensus today is that he requires more assistance. There is still a mental health angle to this question that the Nets, Rich Paul, and Ben Simmons must work through together. Simmons was supposed to play in Game 4 against the Celtics on Monday, but he was ruled out after waking up with back pain on Sunday, according to ESPN. Simmons' mental health was well publicized before he was acquired by Brooklyn in a blockbuster trade that sent James Harden to Philadelphia in February. The 2021 playoffs were a challenge for the point forward as he was chastised for his unwillingness to take a shot in the Eastern Conference playoff series against the Hawks. He eventually requested a trade before informing the 76ers he was not mentally prepared to play basketball this season. Next, disappointing the team. Ben hasn't appeared in an NBA game since last year. The next twist in the Ben Simmons saga comes after the Nets were swept in the first round of the playoffs by the Celtics. As we recall, Simmons hasn't played in the NBA since last season's 76ers elimination game when he thought he was unfairly put under the bus by head coach Doc Rivers and co-star Joel Embiid. He was finally moved to the Nets in exchange for 10-time All-Star James Harden after refusing to play for the Sixers. While Harden has been a shell of his former MVP self, Simmons' absence has made GM Daryl Morey's decision appear like another home run. Many basketball gurus, including Charles Barkley, predicted that Ben Simmons' teammates would start giving him the cold shoulder for not even trying to play. That is, according to sources, exactly what happened. There's been a lot of chatter, rumors, footage, there's always a gym video, and dubious dress choices around Simmons' prospective Nets debut since he was dealt away for James Harden back in February. The elements of the basketball world who aren't hating on the former first overall choice now appear to be fed up with the situation. Right now, a lot of Sixers supporters are saying, "I told you so." Now, crushed hopes. When league insider Brian Windhorst suggested a few weeks ago that Simmons would play in the Nets-Celtics series, even he seemed perplexed by the events that followed. However, it appeared that Brooklyn had something that gave them hope. That's no longer an option. Windhorst was on ESPN's Get Up Monday Morning, and the Nets don't appear to be happy, based on what he said. Insiders claim that Ben Simmons is not sympathetic in any way, and because of his judgments during the season, he will not be given the benefit of the doubt. When you hear this about a star player, your first thought is that he simply does not want to play in a 3-0 series. To tell you the truth, this was our initial reaction as well, but the tensions run deep, as sources inside the Nets claim to be exasperated with his behavior. They were basically saying he woke up with a sore back and couldn't play. That's not a good look on any team player. But there was nothing further to say, so they were essentially waving the white flag. It's particularly disheartening because despite being down 3-0, the Nets were holding to the reality that since games 1 and 2 were razor thin, Simmons' return, even if it was just for 15 minutes a night, would make a difference. To believe that for 5 or 6 days with Ben's initial genuine excitement and then have it snatched away was incredibly sad for fans and management alike. Next, tempers running high. Simmons is being criticized for his obvious lack of enthusiasm in playing, as well as the grievance he filed against the Sixers as a result of his strike and the potential harm it could cause to NBA players in the upcoming round of collective bargaining talks. As anyone who has been following Ben from the start, there is a pattern. He dropped out of LSU, walked away from the Philadelphia 76ers, and he's no longer playing for the Brooklyn Nets. While we can come up with all the justifications and rationales we want, maybe there's a bigger problem at hand here. Despite the fact that he was not playing, he filed a grievance to recover $20 million that he had not earned. The legendary Shaquille O'Neal referred to Simmons' role in the decision not to play as a punk move, as well as his handling of the situation. After the Nets fell behind 3-0 in the series, Charles Barkley said he knew Simmons wouldn't play and that the best strategy would have been to go for Game 3 down 2-0. At the very least, you must try, right? By not even trying, Barkley believes Simmons let his teammates down, which is something he'll have to work really hard to get past. It's getting to the point where Ben's teammates are probably like, does this guy even want to play basketball? It's obviously happened in his last team, and now it's happening on the Nets, and everyone is pointing out the selfishness of it all. And now, Nets' rising disappointment. From the start of the 2021-2022 NBA season, Ben Simmons' absence for the full year was a distinct possibility. The All-Star, who was with the Sixers at the outset of training camp, made it known that he wanted out through trade. According to reports at the time, if Simmons didn't get his wish, he was prepared to sit out the entire season. Simmons kept his commitment for almost 50 games because the Sixers were unable to find a replacement. Finally, the Sixers made a blockbuster deal with the Brooklyn Nets, trade Simmons, Seth Curry, and Andre Drummond for James Harden and Paul Millsap ahead of the 2022 trade deadline. According to ESPN, several members of the Nets organization were surprised and unhappy that Simmons will not make his debut against the Celtics in Game 4. If this claim is accurate, it should come as no surprise that the Nets are dissatisfied with Simmons. After all, Brooklyn was forced to trade James Harden, and Simmons was the best-case scenario for their situation. Simmons was considered to be the prize in that trade for the Nets. The 25-year-old's contract has 3 years and $114 million left on it. Simmons was expected to make his NBA debut on March 10th in Philadelphia, according to the Nets. But when Simmons was unable to practice, those plans were canceled. It's worth noting that Simmons was fined $1.3 million before the trade for missing training camp. Despite the fact that Simmons had yet to appear in a game this season, the expectation was that he would be ready to play for the Nets a few weeks after the trade. Those few weeks grew into a month, which turned into a couple of months, and now he's probably out of the picture for the entire season. On the one hand, the Harden deal was always about the future ceiling Kyrie Irving, Kevin Durant, and Simmons could provide. However, it appeared that Simmons would be ready to play for the Nets at some point this season, at least internally. That never occurred, and it appears that the Nets, who are trailing the Celtics 3-0 in the first round of the NBA playoffs, are irritated that they essentially traded Harden for Andre Drummond and Seth Curry. Another year of Durant's prime has passed him by. With Kyrie Irving potentially becoming a free agent after the season, the Nets could face significant roster turnover this summer. We're not sure how much a healthy or rusty Ben Simmons will help the Nets against the Celtics. For a squad with championship aspirations, not even having the choice to see that through must be tremendously disappointing. And those wardrobe choices? Geez, the man is owning every meme format on the internet right now. Now, the future for Simmons. Simmons has been told by Nets management that the team is eager to do everything it takes to help him and offer him any resources he requires. The 25-year-old was crucial to Brooklyn's success this season, but now the two sides have a complete summer to work through his predicament and find a way for him to show himself on the court once more. Both parties are expected to keep in touch and cooperate towards Simmons' success. Aside from the Simmons problem and everything else that has happened, the Nets will have to rethink their roster composition. The offseason began earlier than expected for the Nets, and collaborating with Simmons on his return looms large during the summer. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about the Nets' reaction? Is their anger at Ben Simmons justified? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.